Hey guys, welcome to this little weekly outlook session of ours. I'm gonna do things a little bit different and start off with silver here. I am extremely bullish on silver, and I'm looking to see if we could use this 4-hour gap to continue higher. It's as simple as that. If we are not gonna use any of these PD arrays on a lower time frame, then I'm gonna pay more attention to the daily, which is my high time frame in this context, and I'm gonna watch to see if later in the week we would retrace back to this daily gap. My final projection is still that monthly buy side liquidity over there. We did a quick liquidity sweep here and quickly sharp turn to the opposite direction, so this is my primary reason for being bullish. I don't know how price will deliver to that buy side liquidity though, but that's my target right there. Buy side liquidity, basically the 36 psychological level. When we look at the monthly candle as well, we can clearly see the manipulation happen as the month opened and we fell off to take liquidity. Right now we have about 9 days left in this monthly candle for the candle to close, and I believe that we're going to close bullish. So lower time frame, pay attention to the 4-hour gap. Maybe the 4-hourly could be used to take this buy side liquidity, then tomorrow falls or Wednesday falls off back down to the daily gap for us to continue higher. There's also a chance that this daily gap could be left as a breakaway gap and we'll never return to it, so watch out for possibility of an expansion upwards from where we are right now, because if that happens we could watch for a later fair value gap to form for a continuation on the daily as well. So if you really want a solid confirmation, I would say watch out for the daily time frame. Gold is already at its all-time highs and it keeps grinding higher and higher, so I would watch for psychological levels like 3,500. Going through that, we have of course 4,000 all the way up here, but one level at a time, because right now gold is not giving much of a retracement, it's not giving much of a pullback in order to continue higher. So even now the week just opened and it's already expanding higher, making new highs on a Monday. That's a bank holiday. So yeah, at the moment I would say just watch it. I'm not really the biggest fan of trying to sell all-time highs, and I'm not really the biggest fan of continuing these higher expansions, you see. So I currently would favor trading silver over gold at the moment. Better price action and better targets to aim for. Moving on, let's go over to dollar index, where we have DXY over there. On the dollar, we opened up today and started falling off literally without any pullbacks. I believe this was Sunday opening right here. We just opened up, consolidated a little bit. Actually opened up from here, skipping to Sunday opening. We just fell off, consolidated during Asia, then continued lower, and right now we have finally hit the consequent encroachment of the yearly gap. If you guys remember, this entire range from that high to this low is the yearly buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency, and I divided them into quarters, into 4 parts, and this is the middle point. So that's the consequent encroachment, or the halfway point of a gap or an inefficiency, right? So the blue line has been tagged, and now we can watch to see if price is willing to reach the 75% fill of this same yearly gap. There's a yearly gap, by the way, and that's also in alignment with our 97.5 level, so we could watch for a reaction from this area to continue higher. For me, I'm not really gonna try and catch the bottom. I'm not really that adventurous or courageous. As I said, I would rather wait for the monthly candle to play out. I'd rather wait for confirmation of a reversal or a pullback and trade that. For example, we have this weekly gap right here, right? I would not want to trade into this weekly gap or expect this weekly gap to be an inversion to continue higher until or unless we show some sort of reaction from this area, these areas, and then an hourly or 4-hourly confirmation that's climbing higher to use these areas as targets. So for now, I'm bearish until proven otherwise. I can definitely see us going down to the 75% fill, because below that we have these relative equal lows here on the left side. So we can see price getting to the 97.5 level very soon. So of course this means the opposite for euro and pound. Euro has been expanding higher after the SMT at the lows. We just continue grinding higher and higher and higher. And I don't know if we are going to ultimately get to these equal highs longer term, but I would rather take it one step at a time. As I said, we could potentially see these gaps that we are leaving on the weekly chart to be a target in the future. So if price is going to retrace down to this gap and continue higher, we could find lower time frame shifts, lower time frame confirmations where price could displace lower, disrespect all these bullish candles, continue lower till that sell side liquidity, right? Now, whether or not we're going to use this area to propel higher or not is a whole different conversation, but we leave that for another day. Right now, GBP USD has been bullish as well. We disrespected this bearish gap, firstly on the left side by closing above it. Then secondly, we respected the new bullish gap that's being created there. I know many of you might not be able to see, so I'm just gonna delineate it on my chart there. So yeah, price pushed down to it, give us a lower time frame confirmation, then just continue higher. Today is the expansion because we got so much compression in the last few days, so we expect a big range day today. So I expect this high, this buy side liquidity, to be tagged anytime from today. On the lower time frame, like our hourly, we could potentially see price using this order block as the final catalyst to push higher. So someone out there could have a setup that looks something like this: stop loss at the low of the order block and TP at the buy side liquidity for a 1.5 hours trade. I mean, we've already respected this bullish gap here, so I don't see the need for us to go below the order block, but that's just my opinion. I'm not giving signals in this channel, I'm mostly teaching. So that's my expectation on GU, my expectation on EU as well. EU has already cleared the highs, so we can just expect a continuation higher. And yeah, NZD USD, AUD USD should tag along with the same move. NZD, I remember, was stronger than AUD, and I'm not sure if AUD has reached the target. Okay, yeah, it has. AUD didn't reach this target initially, but now we can see it has fully plowed through the buy side liquidity. Buy side liquidity, of course, being this one on the daily right there. So yeah, most of them have reached the target, and I'm now neutral on dollar. I've liquidated most of my positions, and I'm waiting for GBP USD to clear the buy side liquidity now. I'm not really interested in many other pairs for now, at least. Moving on to the indices. Russell in a complete mess right now. I was bullish last week on the indices, but this week I'm leaning more towards bearish price action. Looking at how the week has started already so far, this expansion to the upside might be a smart money way of reeling in people to become more bullish, forgetting that the main trend is still bearish ultimately, right? So of course I try not to catch the bottoms, I try not to catch the highs, and I'd rather follow the main trend. So if the main trend is telling us on Nasdaq, for example, that we are still bearish and we should forget about this buy side liquidity that I was looking for last week. By the way, never really got an entry for that buy side liquidity. And yeah, the entirety of last week on the indices was a bit messy for me. But if we are still bearish and we're now targeting the sell side liquidity all the way down here, then we could forget about this being a target, and we could watch for confirmation on our lower time frames. So let's say the 4-hourly chart, for example, I would rather watch and wait for displacement, retracement, then continuation. An SMT somewhere there would be nice. So let's say here we have an SMT or something later on in the week. It doesn't have to be today, but ultimately I am leaning more towards bearish price action. First target we have is this sell side liquidity. Going through that, we have this one. That's my view on Nasdaq. That's also my view on ES. I'm currently in a position, but it's a quick scalp. It's nothing major, but I'm looking for sell side liquidity to be tagged on the indices. Let's just remove these for now, since we might not get to the high. We can watch for the sell side there. And yeah, that's mostly it. It's a very short weekly outlook video, which is very intentional, and that's all I have for now. Stay safe, good luck, and good trading.